Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 7th episode of Hinamatsuri. So, in the last episode, we had Hina getting to meet Nita's family, and they sort of now know what's going on between Nita and Hina. Obviously not the exact details, like her just suddenly warping into his life, but, most of the details, they know enough, I guess I should say. The second half was more focused on Anzu, who suddenly had a very big change in her life. No longer living at the homeless camp with Yasan and all them, she now is essentially been adopted by this nice couple who run Rai Rai Ken Chinese foods restaurant type thing. And yeah, a bit of an adjustment period for Anzu, but she kind of established that she'll, help out working there to kind of earn her keep. And yeah, very, very emotional half of the episode, I would say. They even changed the ED to kind of to match that. But anyway, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, play. Looks like we're starting out with Anzu. Nice. A little bit, but it's fine. Uh, yeah, that's... I mean, that's true, but... wow. Well, the pain ones. I was about to say, that wasn't very, polite. Well, you... Yeah, you don't want to dive in before you know what you're doing. Now we just have to wait for, Hina or Hitomi to show up as customers, which I'm looking forward to. That better happen. Hina's awake, gotta go straight for it, it's right there. I'm gonna guess it makes sense she'd bring it to the table before eating it. Well, then take it to school. Well, do your homework and you like it, he told me. Yeah. We haven't got into that girl on the beach yet. In fact, we haven't really gotten into the girl, the Kung Fu girl in the first episode at all, really, since then. I'm sure we will. Good old Rai Rai Ken. Anzu is a greeter now. Let's see how she does watching. So Anzu, what'd you think? Can you think you can do that? Will you do your best? Good idea. uh, what? Is it overpriced? People don't go to restaurants for the for the value. It's for the convenience, I guess, is a good way to put it. Oh, I guess Nita's the person who arrived that we know. Well, yeah, and to visit you. Yeah. Come on, let's see your Keigo. uh, yes, that 800 yen twice cooked fork. Well, yeah, he did give you a lot of money once, remember that? Don't confuse the poor girl. Don't say that right to his face. I'd say he's somewhat godlike if he can take care of Hina, which is not an easy task. As Anji found out the hard way. Yeah, I live here now. It's cool. I'm at the next stage of my life. She's a good girl. He is not wrong. Don't you wish you got her instead? Imagine how different the series would have been if they switched places and that, like the first episode, they just worked in the opposite places. Dang. It's really not that much money. Oh my god, there's even more money inside this thing. This is insane. Where does all this money come from? They must collect a lot of cans. Washing dishes. They're coming. Oh my god, Hanzu. No. I know it seems like a bit of a waste, but... You technically can, but... And they're still inside of her. Yeah, it's really not that bad. Gotta remember that Keiko. Yes, Anzu, very important. Very important, and she's just so flat. Oh my god, Anzu. Anzu. Oh my god. That is so sad, but so funny. It's so cute. I don't know. Anzu. Oh god. Just. Oh my god. Anzu. Yep, that's Anzu's new room. It just, her life is a lot better than it was before, is really what this boils down to. That is such an old, stupid joke. You can eat panties. You need to watch more anime if you think otherwise. I'm totally awake! Oh no. Good question. You told me you're gonna try to help her out, maybe study partners. Well, no, but if you were talking to Chaos, she'd be happy to be scolded by you. Wow. I don't think the teacher's quite that bad. But I'm most important, give me more. Hina really is just... compared to Anzu, she is such a terrible person. I mean, she's the opposite of Anzu, I guess is a better way to put it. Which is why they couldn't live together very long. Yes. Yeah, because you're not a bartender. Can you imagine that scandal? You're not gonna try it, are you, Hina? Please don't. School would not survive. Yes, an anime they have a lot of power, usually. No, she's gonna get ideas in her head. It's exactly like that, yeah, you know. The student counts are basically Yakuza when you boil it down. Ouch. I bet Hina does. No, it's not a good idea, Hina. Don't. You'll ruin the school. Uh, Come on, Hitomi. Raise your hand. Yeah, yes, I think we've established that. It's been 7 episodes, and yes, the answer is yes. Hitomi, you should have raised your hand. This might be the catalyst that gets Hitomi to jump on board. Yeah, this is all your fault, dude. Take responsibility. Well, it could, but I don't think it's worth it. Oh, that should be good. No, she can't. Best you could hope for is Hitomi writing it for her. And even then, I think it wouldn't go well. You probably either wouldn't read it or just ad-lib a lot. uh, get to work in that speech, you know. This should be good. Let's see. To vote Hina for president. Sure loves the zoom-ins on Hitomi's mouth. It's a rough draft. Just give it time. Yeah. Unfortunately. I mean, I think most schools that wouldn't happen. No progress has been made on it, hey. Best father right there. You could try staying awake, that might make it a bit funner. uh, I don't know. You never really know with anime. You're just gonna get some backing from Yakuza. Uh, Very good question. Oh no. The school had no idea what's about to come to them. Because I doubt most of the people in the audience even know Hina. Know how insane she is. Wonder if it's made any progress since before. I didn't have time to read that. Okay, so that is the case. I figured. Well, never mind then. uh, Rules are meant to be broken. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. Her delivery could use some work, but I doubt she even wrote the thing. Uh... Yeah, definitely not written by Hina. Phase arm here. Uh... Uh... God. uh... Hold for applause. Yeah, lots of Tsukumi for that. Well, we have a new president, I guess. uh, but yeah. I think she would have been a fine president, so well. That cheered her up. Of course. Well, I mean, she didn't get to become the president, so why would she want to go? Uma. Paper. Yeah, you have a job to get to, don't you? uh, I mean, she would obviously do a much better job than Hina, but again, she has a job to do. And now that I think about it, yeah, it's probably the main reason why she didn't try to become president. Sure, that's what matters. The real bartender's back there. But... uh, of course, that's where she get it from. I'm here if you want to talk. Think about this carefully, man. uh, of course she talks, he told me about this. Oh, wow. uh, doesn't exist. I really don't know what her real family's like. He told me. Just a bit, but... Well, that's sad. Uh... I'll become your new mom. uh... Yeah, I'm sure this will go well. Like everything that Hina does. This... Uh... he... Not exactly. This is what happens when you have Hina do something. No. Uh... uh... Which is a good person to Hina. Uh... That could be taken the wrong way. In fact, I think it was. Especially considering he told me was the one that said it. She does like her TV watching. Oh wow. Because I want one. Kinda stretching it from a first date to mother. It can be, or it can be an asset, depending on the person. uh, don't drop her. She can't deal with any more head damage. Ah! What? Oh my god. How hard did she hit that thing? I thought maybe he would knock over her vase or something with her, but... Ouch. Might even be worse than stubbing your toe. That does sound kind of bad, but... This, you know, episode took quite a turn here. You've totally went to her pace. She walks up to Utuko and says, "Will you be Hina's mother?" Not acting like Hina's gonna die. Wow, the puppets. I think you've done that plenty of times. They not going super well. Kind of small portion there. Yeah, I don't think it's going so well. Be careful on the road. Got a little bit of something on your mouth. Well, yeah, didn't go well. Poor Nita. Oh well. At least he has Hina. That's something, right? I don't think it worked. Man. Yeah, the episode started out with Anzu, but overall we really didn't get much Anzu this episode. It was mostly Hina, her trying to improve her school life. And just kind of showing how much of an irresponsible person she is. Doesn't even show up to the student council meetings and just has Hitomi do it instead. Doesn't make her own speech, reads someone else's, and then does it poorly. Of course, it worked well enough. She had no chance of becoming president anyway, because she's a first year, but... But man, Anzu just... You know... That line, that scene with the cold water in the shower, that... I don't know why, that really got to me. That was really sad. Interesting title. So that was the 7th episode of Hinamatsuri. And the first scene of this episode was basically Anzu getting used to, well, beginning her new life, really, at the Rai Ken Chinese food place. And yeah, they're just kind of teaching her, you know, how things go, how the customers always right, that kind of thing. You know, they're gods, they're godlike people. and all that, and you should be polite to them and all that, and you just kind of watch us do it to get an idea of how this goes, and then, you know, try it yourself. Pretty much. So yeah, she does. And she looks at the menu and just sees that twice cooked pork is like 800 yen, and she just thinks, wow, I could buy like 8 cups of ramen with that, because, yeah, that's... Because she buys like the cheapest food that you could possibly live off of, and this is a restaurant where you do kind of pay for the convenience of not having to make the food yourself and all that. But yeah, definitely a bit of a, I don't know if you call it culture shock or not, but it's definitely a new thing for Hina. Because, well, I kind of skipped over it, but first time she put on her outfit, and they said, hey, it's a little bit big on you, and she said, no, it's fine, all my stuff is big on me. Which is just one of the many lines in this episode that was sad, because it just kind of reminds you of the life she's lived until now, and that wasn't a great life, really. This especially became apparent when Nita showed up, because... yeah, she orders the food that she specifically pointed out was very expensive, and she comments like, wow, are you rich or something? Which he took as sarcasm, as an insult, because that's really the normal way to take it, but no, it's just a very different perspective between these two people. Because, yeah, he is very well off financially, especially compared to somebody like Anzu. I mean, he just handed her a bunch of money before that she used to pay off Utako, so... yes, he definitely... and he buys a bunch of fancy vases. The guy is definitely... richer than she is, to say the least. And we had the scene of of Anzu washing dishes and washing chopsticks, and, you know, her new father's like, no, you don't have to wash those, just throw them out, it's fine. And then she once again brings up something that Yasan teaches her about, you know, not wasting anything. And yeah, it was kind of brought the idea that a lot of things that she was taught before is kind of gonna have to go out the window, because it's a very different lifestyle now. It's not as important to make best use of every little thing. And especially at a restaurant, usually that's usually not a very big priority, because of a lot of little things, really. But definitely the saddest scene of this entire Anzu stuff was pretty much just the shower scene, like, and not just because she's a flat chest, so that's normal for someone her age, but I'm more referring to the fact that she was deliberately using cold water as a shower, because obviously that's what she's used to. And I don't know, just something about that scene, man, that was just really, really sad. Just, you can use warm water on Zoo. It's fine. It's I know you can technically use cold water. It won't kill you or anything, but it's not a good idea. You should use warm water anyway. After that, we started getting into some Hina stuff. Hina, obviously, we've seen throughout the course of the series, she's been sleeping a lot in class and just overall being a very poor student. And the teacher was kind of getting fed up with that and just ended up scolding her a lot. And Hina, I suppose, because certain ideas were put in her head, she decided she'd become the student council president and make the school a better place for her, pretty much, I guess, is really what it came down to. Of course, she didn't know first years can't become the president, so that kind of, it was a foregone conclusion that she had failed to begin with. And that's not even taking into consideration the things like her not being a very good people person, you know, reciting her speeches in a very monotone voice, reading parts that are not meant to be read, and all that. But yeah, it did help a little bit that, you know, Nita was able to have his boss have their lawyer write up the speech for her, but yeah, it also would have helped if she could be a little bit better at reading it, really. Because the speech itself definitely wasn't bad. It was pretty good. But yeah, just the wrong person reading it is really what it comes down to. But in the end, I think she got a secretary position and then just, you know, never shows up. So he told me how to kind of do that for her. Even though she has her own stuff she has to do, like bartending, for instance. But yeah, of course, the student council likes. He told me she does a fantastic job with this. Like, hey, why don't you keep doing this? But no, she has more important things to do, really. She has a busy enough schedule as it is, I guess I should say. The last part of the episode focused on pretty much Nita and Utako. He clearly likes her, wanted to go on a date with her. She didn't really want to do that. You know, she has her bar to take care of, despite the fact that Hitomi is pretty much all that bar really needs. But yeah, so in the end, Nita kind of asked Anzu Hina for advice, which not the best idea, really. But yeah, this led to Hina knowing the situation, kind of, and she talked to Hitomi about it. Then Hitomi and Hina go to a little song together. And they were supposed to kind of to help out Nita to get that date and all. But Hina being Hina, this was never going to work. So she just blurts out, "Hey, Nita wants to go on a date with you," or, you know. And then Utako took that the worst possible way, thinking Nita just sent his child after her to try to, as pretty much a tool to get that date, which is not exactly what happened, really. No, but Then Hitomi tries to recover the situation by saying, oh no, Nita didn't say anything to her, she just kind of read the mood between you two and picked up on that, and then Utako was like, really? Who were you trying to kid? And then Hitomi was like, yeah, I don't know what I was even saying, that's ridiculous, she would never pick up on anything ever. Her ability to read the mood, read the atmosphere is non-existent. In fact, if you flat out tell her something, it's still questionable whether or not she'll understand it properly, just it was never going to happen. And then Hitomi continues to try to help the situation by saying, hey, you might as well go on a date with him, you know, the bar will be fine without you, which was another shot to Utako, because she already probably deep down feels like unneeded in this place because Hitomi is a fantastic bartender. And it's really all the place needs. I mean, it's technically her bar, but really she just stands there and looks pretty for the most part, which is something that I'd say Hitomi could do fine. But yeah, I guess it did technically work in the end because Utako agreed to go on a date with Nita, and he was so happy. He was playing with Hina, just twirling her around. It was a really happy atmosphere. And then suddenly Hina hits her leg on the wall and possibly breaks it. And she ends up going to a hospital. And yeah, so needless to say, it's going to result in her kind of being on Nita's mind a bit, which ended up being pretty bad for the date because Utako pretty much rejected him because that apparently Hina was all he could think about, all he talked about, and she decided that she can't go out with divorced single dads or whatever she called it. And yeah, that's pretty sad. And Hitomi even looked at her like, wow, that's pretty messed up. You just straight up said that to him? Wow. But yeah, that was pretty bad. I forgot to mention this, but I kind of liked the conversation between Hina and Hitomi, where Hitomi was like, hey, if things go well between Nita and Utako, she could be your new mother, and then, you know, the subject of mothers came up and all that, which is interesting because we really don't know like what kind of family Hina had before she met Nita. Like she just, like it's easy to forget the supernatural elements of the show sometimes, but she just appeared, teleported in his room in an egg thingy, and just entered his life like with nothing on her, not even any clothing, and he just kind of took care of her from there, and you know occasionally kicks her out and stuff, and yeah, just. Why was she sent? Did she... Well, I think she might have just run away, or was sent... Like, somebody helped her run away, probably from a research facility, question mark? I don't know. That's kind of where my mind goes on that one. So her and Anzu could just both be, like, orphans, and they don't have parents anymore. And they did certain experiments on them to give them supernatural powers, the psychic powers. Because Anzu also went, but I think she was... It's been a while, but... Wasn't she, like, specifically sent after to get Hina back, I think? I don't know, I might have to rewatch some of the older episodes, but... And then the only reason Anzu stays is because she broke her thing and couldn't go back home. So, I've always kind of wondered if maybe we'd get like a third psychic character in the story at some point. Maybe not like a main character like what Anzu and Hina is, but just someone else to go after Hina and or Anzu. To see what happened with Anzu, I don't know. There's still a lot we don't know about their backstory is really what I'm getting at here, and I would like to get a bit more into that if at all possible. I think we will. Sorry to say for sure, but yeah, it is unfortunate things that work out between Nita and Utako, because that could be great, because Hitomi is kind of like Utako's daughter, sort of, and then you have Hina, which is kind of like Nita's daughter, so they could be pseudo-siblings, pseudo-sisters, kind of, which would be great. And yeah, I do think we'll get some more closeness, more bonding between Hitomi and Utako, because of that one scene in the opening. Maybe, I really don't know what that scene was about, really, because it looked like Hitomi was at Utako's place, and maybe she's gonna actually adopt Hitomi from Hitomi's mother. Like maybe Hitomi's mother finds out about the bartending thing and disowns her. I don't see that very likely to be happening, but it's the only real way I can make sense of that scene, to be honest. But anyway, I do think we'll get more of them, but you know, regardless. So I think that's about all I really had to say on this one. It was another good episode. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, the Dragon of Oshu, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon, and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.